नमस्कार। हिमालय टेलिभिजनको यस विशेष कार्यक्रममा यहाँलाई स्वागत छ। म उमिता बस्नेत। यस विशेष कार्यक्रममा हामी जेठ 18 र 19 गते सोल्टी होटलमा आयोजना भएको एशियन पेन्ट्स नेपाल निर्माण 2071 को कार्यक्रम यहाँहरूमाझ विगत केही दिनदेखि प्रस्तुत गरिरहेका छौं। यस कार्यक्रमलाई एचटीभी इभेन्ट्सले आयोजना गरेको थियो भने यसका सहप्रायोजकहरू भने नेशनल इन्स्योरेन्स कम्पनी, अरिहन्त ट्राभल्स, अरिहन्त एडुकेशन, जोनी वकर र पेप्सी रहेका थिए। यसको रेडियो पार्टनर रेडियो अडियो रहेको थियो भने यसको न्यूज च्यानल पार्टनर न्यूज 24 रहेको थियो। दर्शकवृन्द, आजको श्रृंखलामा हामी मल्टिनेशनल कर्पोरेशनको प्यानल डिस्कसन यहाँहरूमाझ राख्न गइरहेका छौं। उक्त कार्यक्रममा विभिन्न संगठनसँग आबद्ध हुनुभएका विशिष्ट व्यक्तिहरूको उपस्थिति रहेको थियो। उक्त कार्यक्रममा कोका कोलाका कन्ट्री हेड, नेशनल इन्स्योरेन्सका सीईओ, एभरेज बैंकका सीईओ र एसबीआई नेपालका चीफ रिस्क अफिसरको उपस्थिति रहेको थियो।
Please welcome the CEO of the best managed commercial bank of the last 2013-14, CEO of Everest Bank, A.K. Ahluwalia, Mr. A.K. Ahluwalia, a bank in partnership with Punjab National Bank. Welcome, Ahluwalia, sir. Thanks for your patience for waiting for quite some time. In the meantime, we had a lot other issues to be shared and discussed here. Unfortunately, the country head of Pepsi, Rohit Kohli, is just now not present in this hall, but we thank Mr. Kohli to be a partner, a brand partner in this program, to be a sponsor, and also thank National Insurance, Dr. Pranab Sen, also to be a sponsor in this program today. And finally, please welcome, on behalf of the CEO of SBI Bank, Chief Risk Officer, SBI Bank, Chappi Raj Pant, Mr. Chappi Raj Pant. Yes, please welcome Mr. Chappi Raj Pant. Interestingly, the MNC panel has speakers with origins from 3 different nations, and that's quite interesting. Let's begin with a very forceful presentation on what should be the focus areas of Nepali economy, Nepali budget, the role of the multinationals in contributing to FDI development, employability, and corporate social responsibility in this country over the next 1 year. On this theme, let's welcome Mr. Salman Latifron, country head, Coca-Cola, at the beginning.
Thank you, Ujjal, and thank you, everyone, for the patience you are having. I don't have a long speech. I don't have a data, but I recall 10 months back, I was exactly in the same hall discussing something of the same nature when at that time the finance minister, Mr. Kurala, was also here. And my point at that time was, and which I will reiterate 2-3 points today, with no speeches, no data, I only have a food for thought. And that is, no one in the government sector or in the private sector doesn't know what are the difficulties, what we have. Everyone is impressed with it. We know what are the problems. These have been talked over and over and over. Probably it's a time for action. Someone has to take a step. The first step towards now actions. We have to end the time for discussions and for the planning. Because when we talk hope, it consists of 4 words or 4 alphabets, HOPE. What we in corporate sector, we say, how our people energized. So we got to energize the thing. In the whole structure, if I have to say back again, can we create an environment and an atmosphere which is more towards industrialization or corporatization? One window operations, more support to the investments, everyone know it. Can we look forward, the step or the hand which can come forward and take people behind them? Probably that was the message 10 months back. This is the message which I have right now, to discipline ourselves, to start building the first step so that we can build the nation, we can bring the investment, employment will come, everything will be there, but we have to take the action. Thank you very much.
How our people get energized, hope, asking for one window operations, asking for translating discussions and debates into action. Thank you very much. Very brief. Not just food for thought, you also have lots of drinks for thought, and very brief and very pertinent. Hope that we can have a couple of questions later on, depending on time. We move on to the next speaker, Dr. Pranav Sen, CEO, National Insurance and Corporation.
Good evening, everybody. I would like to thank Himalaya TV for giving me an opportunity in Nepal Nirman 2071 to address such an august gathering. To start with, I'll start with a quote of Albert Einstein that insurance is amongst the most prudent invention of man. It makes disasters tolerable. Disaster? Tolerable. See, insurance plays a vital role. Due to the paucity of time, I think I should read out what I have. Insurance plays a vital role in balancing the economy of any country and helps to recover from the losses arising out of unforeseen and accidental losses, provided the masses have taken adequate insurance cover. Let me share some important data with you, which I think should be useful to you. That in Nepal, there are 17 insurance companies, out of which there are 2 Indian PSUs, 1 foreign company, 1 government of Nepal company, and 13 local Nepalese companies. Total premium for 2012 and 13 was 8.9 billions, and this non-life premium in Nepal is growing at a rate of around 10%. Now, the penetration of non-life insurance in Nepal is below 1%, which shows that there is tremendous scope for insurance activity in Nepal. The per capita non-life insurance premium in Nepal is 175 rupees. The non-life insurance contribution to GDP of Nepal is 0.66%, whereas the global standard is 2.5 to 3%. Total number of policies issued in 2012-13 is 7.90 lakhs. Now, in light of the given data and looking at the vast potential available, I strongly feel that the following measures need to be taken on highest priority in near future. The first is to create awareness for the need of non-life insurance among masses and to make people understand the importance of insurance. Because majority of the people think that insurance is only available for bank finance cases or assets they buy, and they are required to take an insurance cover as per the mandate of the bank. In fact, it is not like that. Anybody can take an insurance cover for their assets. We need to stress on the health insurance because the escalation of price of medical care, it becomes difficult for the middle and lower income group people to afford the cost of treatment, which drains out their hard-earned savings. Now, healthy population is must for any country to grow. Here, I strongly feel that there should be some tax debate on medical premium. It should be available to make the cost of premium more affordable, and for the rural masses below poverty line, there should be some subsidy so that more people can come under the purview of health insurance. Now, rural insurance is the need of the hour, as agriculture plays an important role in the development of any country. Recently, government of Nepal has introduced rural insurance, which is just 1 year old, and we need to do a lot of things to propagate this insurance scheme among the rural masses. Now, there is acute shortage of skilled manpower in insurance sector. I find there are a lot of students from B schools and MBA students. For them, I can tell them, there is a lot of indirect as well as direct scope of insurance in your own country. There is urgent need of good professional insurance training institute for insurance education. You will be surprised to know that as of now, in Nepal, there is no insurance training institute. Everything is being outsourced. People are being called from other countries to train people locally. We also need to stress on personal line policies like personal accident, householder insurance, and I am sure even in this literate August gathering, majority of the people won't be having a personal accident policy or a householder policy. Am I right? Will anybody raise their hand who are having their insurance policies? See, it is very few number of people are raising their hands. So there is tremendous scope of insurance in Nepal. Now what is happening presently, major share of non-life insurance premium collected by the local companies is going out of the country in the form of reinsurance premium. As the retention capacity of the local companies is very low, and we need to retain this in our own country, which will only be possible once we have a reinsurance company in Nepal. So that the money can be invested in Nepal itself. It's only the Indian PSUs which are investing all the money in Nepal only. And the Indian PSUs are also giving a lot of facultative reinsurance support to the local companies. So we are trying to, retain the money in Nepal itself rather than flowing it out to other countries. So I think this is all for the time being. I'll not take much of time. Thank you very much for a patient listening. In case you have any questions, you are most welcome. At the end, I think. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sen. That was a very beautiful quote. Making disaster tolerable. Insurance making disaster tolerable. Indeed, disaster management, risk management has a lot to do with insurance. Interestingly, as you said, below 1% is non-life insurance, perhaps below 5% is life insurance in Nepal, and below 1% of non-life insurance takes into consideration car, shop, house, health, agriculture, all these areas, sectors for insurance. Altogether, still less than 1% has a long way to go. And perhaps much of the insurance which is actually there is situational or forced because of certain reasons and laws connected with car. Third-party insurance is important in car, but not voluntary insurance. Perhaps voluntary insurance is something which needs much more focus. Perhaps you could share, when we come out with our written document, you could share what the government rule could be to encourage insurance in this country. And now we look into the commercial banking area, and who else but the CEO of the best managed commercial bank in the latest evaluation that happened only a few months ago, Everest Bank CEO, Mr. A.K. Ahluwalia, to give perspective from commercial banking domain.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I would like to thank Himalayan Television for hosting this event, wherein we can at least interact, we can give some inputs. Whether they are accepted or not, that is a different matter altogether. But at least we have a chance to speak what we have in our mind. So firstly, I would like to say banking is, when we say Nirman 2071, banking is very closely interlinked with any Nirman. No Nirman in any country is possible without banking. So banking is backbone of economy of any country. It's a barometer, Once we see how the country is growing, we should also see how the banking in that country is growing. That is very important. Now, when we see banking happening in Nepal, there is one very peculiar situation out here. The majority of deposits that we get, they are because of remittances. It's a very good thing that a lot of people have gone out. But once those people have gone out, we are drained with our manpower also. Like he said, skilled manpower. Skilled manpower is not there. Most of the skilled manpower has gone out of the country. And when they go out of country, they work out there and they are remitting the funds to their motherland. And what is actually happening is most of those funds are going out for buying consumer goods, for consumption purpose only. So the banking is growing, yes. But how banking is growing? It's one side of the balance sheet is growing because of remittances. The other side of balance sheet is growing because of trade, imports. The major portion of banks' funds, which is invested as a credit portfolio, as a loan, it is invested in trading. So how can we say, even if the banking grows out here, even if the balance sheets of banks are growing, but the fact remains that it is not account of any productive activity. It is just happening because we get funds, we consume part of it, we save part of it. That's all what is happening. So unless we pay focused attention on the growth of entire sector in the country, whether it is agriculture, whether it is hydropower, whether it is infrastructure, or whether it is industries, including manufacturing industries, unless and until major portion of banks' funds is invested in these sectors, then actual growth is not there. It is not all-inclusive growth. It's a growth for some people only, not in general. We got a lot of branches in remote areas. When I go and see there, it's people are living in a very subhuman conditions. Not many banks are financing in agriculture. Fortunately, our bank is doing agriculture financing, but even that is very limited. So if we go sector by sector, more than 40-45% of Nepalese population is dependent on agriculture. And what is the agriculture financing that is taken place? That is minuscule. So unless that is increased, and for that I would request our insurance colleagues also to make the cost of insurance very cheap, and if it is 6%, 7%, not many people can afford that kind of insurance. They will rather not go for that. And banks are also wary of financing when there is no insurance, no collaterals, and I don't know how a poor agriculturist can provide all these things. Then comes the industrial part. Without any infrastructure, I don't know how industries will develop. Infrastructure and industries are interlinked. Unless you have proper infrastructure, whether it is electricity, 12-hour load shedding, running the industry on diesel generator sets, I don't know how profitable it can be for anybody. It's very difficult. So proper roads, proper electricity, proper water supply, and the industries closer to the points where raw material is easily available, that is need of the hour. I think that has to be done very fast if we want our industrial sector to grow. Another very important thing for this country is the tourism. Again, tourism cannot grow if your roads are not good, if the hotels are not good, if the restaurants are not good. If electricity supply comes like this, tourism may also, it cannot go. It cannot go in isolation. So, again, same thing is there, it is required. Banks would be financing all the tourism sector, but all stakeholders have to play their important role in that. And finally, the hydropower, which is the in thing. But hydropower again cannot be by just setting up a hydro unit. Banks will finance a long term. It's not 2071. Maybe once we finance hydropower, it is 2081 project. So for that also, unless transmission lines are there, unless land is acquired and the laws are simple enough to acquire the land for transmission lines, no hydropower industry can survive. So all I can say is, these are all things which are interlinked to each other. Once we are able to get hold of our infrastructure setup, once we are able to set up these industries, once we are able to promote tourism in our country by banking, finance or otherwise, another thing that will stop is the brain drain which is taking place. So these things cannot be looked into in isolation. Every stakeholder, whether it is government, whether it is banks, whether it is private sector, everybody has a role to play in this. So I just wish and pray that these things happen very fast, and maybe 2071 is a great year for us, for all of us. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Very pertinent points pointed out, and it was really little revealing for me. Banking grows in Nepal, but not in productivity sector, not in productive sectors. That's a very pertinent and a very strong point. Investment in manufacturing limited, not much agricultural funding or banking happening, and enabling environment for tourism and idle, prohibiting or preventing banking sector's role in tourism and idle power. Something very significant. I think we need to really think deeper in these areas. On this point of insurance, the premium being high and all, I was just informed by Dr. Sen, a very pertinent point, 50% of rural insurance in this country is subsidized by the government of Nepal, which is indeed a major welfare activity of the government of Nepal indeed. We go to the last speaker, the Chief Risk Officer of State Bank of India, Nepal, SBI Nepal Bank, Mr. Chappi Raj Pant.
Thank you, Mr. Chaudhary. सबैलाई नमस्कार। म लास्टमा परे र सबैलाई अब के छ भने यो कति छिटो सिद्धियोस् भन्ने लागिरहेको होला। ब्याङ्किङ सम्बन्धी धेरै कुराहरू त यहाँ भनिरहनु पर्दैन होला, तर नेपालमा अहिलेको अध्ययन गर्दाखेरि 2 करोड मोबाइल बोक्ने मान्छेहरू छन्, तर हाम्रो अहिलेसम्म हामीले यत्रो ब्याङ्क खोलेर 2 करोड कस्टमर बनाउन सकेका छैनौँ। यो विडम्बना छ हाम्रो। एउटा मोर देन 1 करोड छ हामीसँग अहिले जम्मा कस्टमर सङ्ख्या। अब टेलिकमको 2टा टेलिकम र 3टा टेलिकम भनौँ मेजरको 2 करोड नाइसक्यो अहिले ग्राहक सङ्ख्या। त्यसले गर्दा हाम्रो मेजर फोकस भनेको ब्याङ्किङ देश विकास यदि गर्ने नै हो भने साँच्चीकै ब्याङ्किङ सेक्टरमा हामीले सबैलाई ल्याउनुपर्छ। यो नेटवर्कमा नल्याइकन विकास सम्भव हुँदैन, किनभने जबसम्म आर्थिक विकास हुँदैन तपाईँले त्यो टेलिफोन बोक्नको लागि पनि पैसा चाहिन्छ जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ। र अर्को कुरा नेपालको सबैभन्दा प्रब्लम के छ भने हामीले धेरै कुरा गऱ्यौँ यहाँ ब्याङ्क विकासका लागि। ट्रेडिङमा हामीले लोन दिइरहेछौँ, इन्डस्ट्रीमा दिइरहेछौँ, त्यसमा नो डाउट, र पाइ पनि रहेछन् सबै हाम्रा उद्योगपति व्यापारीज्यूहरूले। तर प्रब्लम कहाँ छ भने हाम्रो कृषिमा आधारित देश छ। हाम्रो देशको जडीबुटी यति बहुमूल्य छ, त्यसको डिमान्ड पनि वर्ल्डमा छ। हामीसँग पहाडमा त्यो जडीबुटी प्रशोधनका केन्द्रहरू छैनन्, त्यसका लागि हामी लोन लगानी गर्न सकिरहेका छैनौँ। र पहाडमा गाई पालन र अरू कृषिजन्य उद्योगको लागि हाम्रो लोन पुगेको छैन। त्यसले गर्दा अब यसमा के हुनुपर्छ भने साँच्चीकै यदि देश विकास गर्ने हो भने नेपाल सरकारले यो ग्रामीण विकास ब्याङ्कको मोडेललाई चेन्ज गर्नुपर्छ जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ। हामी कमर्सियल ब्याङ्कहरूले त्यसमा नेपाल राष्ट्र ब्याङ्कको गाइडलाइन अनुसार 12% हाइड्रो र एग्रिकल्चरमा त्यसमा लगानी गर्नुपर्ने जरुरी छ। तर हामीले के गर्छौँ भने घुमाइ फिराइ नजिकका कृषकलाई मात्रै लोन दिने मतलब सम्भावना बढी भयो के, किनभने हाम्रो एक्सेसै छैन गाउँको हुम्ला जुम्ला त्यस्तो ठाउँमा। त्यसले गर्दा एउटा त मेजर यदि विकास गर्ने हो भने हामीले ग्रामीण विकास ब्याङ्कलाई 75 जिल्लामा हरेक जिल्लामा एउटा कार्यालय खोल्नै पर्छ। नेपाल सरकारले यदि विकास गर्ने हो, देशमा लोन फ्लो गर्ने हो भने। अर्को कुरा टीलाई एकदम नेपालको डेभलप गर्ने हो भने टी डेभलपमेन्ट ब्याङ्क पनि एउटा चाहिन्छ जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ। यहाँ अहिले कुरा धेरै भए तर त्यो धेरै काम हुन सकेको छैन। र ठुलो प्रोजेक्टमा लगानी गर्न हाम्रो सिङ्गल अब्लिगर ब्याङ्कको एउटा ब्याङ्कलाई निश्चित पेड अफ क्यापिटलको अथवा नेतृत्वको यतिसम्म लगानी गर्न पाउने हाम्रो लिमिट छ। त्यसले गर्दा ब्याङ्कले के गर्नुपर्छ भने हामीले त्यसभित्र रहेरै एउटा प्रोजेक्टमा लगानी गर्नुपर्छ। अब अहिले यहाँ 400 मेगावाटको प्रोजेक्ट लगानी गर्न सक्ने हाम्रो टोटल नेपालका ब्याङ्कहरू लगानी गरे पनि पुग्दैन पैसा। त्यसले गर्दा नेपालमा अब इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेभलपमेन्ट ब्याङ्क एउटा ठुलो ब्याङ्कको रूपमा ल्याउनु जरुरी हुन्छ जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ। त्यो ल्याएन भने खालि हाम्रो अगाडि कुरा मात्रै धेरै भएको छन्। यति वर्षसम्म हाइड्रोमा सेती प्रोजेक्टको पश्चिम सेतीको बारेमा आज कुरा भएको 16 वर्ष भइसक्यो। त्यो प्रोजेक्ट अहिलेसम्म केही पनि अगाडि बढेको छैन। सुदूरपश्चिमको यदि विकास हुन्थ्यो भने त्यो प्रोजेक्ट बाहेक अरूले त्यहाँको विकास सम्भव छैन। र अर्को कुरा यहाँ के छ भने एउटा अहिले नयाँ यो हाइड्रोको लागि छुट्टै हाइड्रो डेभलपमेन्ट सम्बन्धी ब्याङ्क नै खोल्नुपर्छ। हुन त एउटा हाइड्रो डेभलपमेन्ट सम्बन्धीको यहाँ एउटा कम्पनी डेभलप भएको छ, तर त्यसले त्यसलाई क्यापिटल बढाएर 200, 400, 500 करोड थप गरेर त्यसलाई खरबमा लग्नुपर्छ जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ। त्यति हुने हो भने साँच्चीकै हामीले हिमालय टेलिभिजनले गरेको कार्यक्रम नयाँ नेपाल निर्माण 2071 को यो कार्यक्रमलाई हामीले केही सफल भएको मान्नुपर्छ। र यसका लागि नेपाल सरकारलाई पनि यसबाट केही प्रेस होला जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ। हामीले दिने सुझाव पनि केही नोट हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ। थ्याङ्क यू।
I have just been informed that less than 25% of the population of Nepal are included under financial inclusion. That means less than 1 among 4 people in the country have bank accounts. And that's one of the priority areas perhaps. On one side is commercial banking, large project banking, financial inclusion also as a major role for banking. And development-focused banking, which includes financial inclusion, may require reassessing of risks in this country to making the risk management or risk criteria more favorable to the common people at the grassroots. Interestingly, more than 2 crores telecom connections, as you have said, 2 crores telecom connections in a country of 2.8 crores, but still only 25% included in the financial inclusion sector, that is in having bank accounts.
हवस् त आजको लागि यति नै। भोलि हामी फरक नयाँ विषयवस्तु र फरक नयाँ प्यानल डिस्कसनका साथ उपस्थित हुने नै छौं। तबसम्मको लागि म कार्यक्रम प्रस्तुता उमिता बस्नेत लगायत मेरा सम्पूर्ण कार्यक्रम युनिटलाई बिदा दिनुहोस्। नमस्ते। नमस्कार। हिमालय टेलिभिजनको यस विशेष कार्यक्रममा यहाँलाई स्वागत छ। म उमिता बस्नेत। यस विशेष कार्यक्रममा हामी जेठ 18 र 19 गते सोल्टी होटलमा आयोजना भएको एशियन पेन्ट्स नेपाल निर्माण 2071 को कार्यक्रम यहाँहरूमाझ विगत केही दिनदेखि प्रस्तुत गरिरहेका छौं। यस कार्यक्रमलाई एचटीभी इभेन्ट्सले आयोजना गरेको थियो भने यसका सहप्रायोजकहरू भने नेशनल इन्स्योरेन्स कम्पनी, अरिहन्त ट्राभल्स, अरिहन्त एडुकेशन, जोनी वकर र पेप्सी रहेका थिए। यसको रेडियो पार्टनर रेडियो अडियो रहेको थियो भने यसको न्यूज च्यानल पार्टनर न्यूज 24 रहेको थियो। दर्शकवृन्द, आजको प्रस्तुतिमा भने हामी मीडिया एण्ड इन्टरटेनमेन्टको प्यानल डिस्कसन यहाँहरूमाझ राख्न गइरहेको छौं। उक्त कार्यक्रममा डाइरेक्टर, प्रोड्युसर, एक्टर, एक्ट्रेस, एडभर्टाइजिङ एजेन्सी र रेडियोका प्रतिनिधिहरूको उपस्थिति रहेको थियो। अब भने उक्त प्यानल डिस्कसन अबको प्रस्तुतिमा।
अब आफ्नो विचार छोटकरीमा प्रस्तुत गरिदिनको लागि सबैभन्दा पहिला म अनुरोध गर्दछु भूपेन चन्द।
Thank you, Narendra. I've got only 4 minutes. Unlike other industry, film industry is mixer of art and finance. So, they don't go hand in hand. We all know that. That is the reason we should not take this industry for granted and for hobby. It's my humble request to our new generation of film actors and filmmakers. Before you enter this majestic film industry, you should study and do some research on the tools and skills that you need in this industry. That is that, and there are so many things I really want to share, which I will do later. But there is certain obligations for media also. I've heard, due to my experience and all, in Hollywood and Bollywood, fans are more into knowing the personal life of an actor. Unlike that, our Nepalese audience, they are more into knowing the characters created by the actor rather than the creator. So media should be more focused on the character created as an actor than us. At the end of the day, film fraternity and media should go hand in hand to uplift the mirror of our nation, which is called the Nepalese film industry. I would like to end my speech. Like J.F. Kennedy said, ask not what film industry can give you, ask what you can do for your film industry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bhupen. भूपेनलाई एउटा कुरा राम्रोसँग थाहा छ, वेल डन इज बेटर देन वेल सेड। त्यसकारण चाहिँ उसले थोरै बोल्छ, धेरै काम गर्छ। प्लिज विनिता।
हेलो, यहाँ उपस्थित सम्पूर्ण महानुभावहरूलाई, वरिष्ठ व्यक्तिहरूलाई मेरो नमस्कार। अहिले किसान भएपछि मिडियाको बारेमा बोल्न त डर लागिरहेछ मलाई। म अर्ग्यानिक फार्मिङमा लागेको 1 वर्ष भयो। 1 वर्ष मिडियाको बारेमा, मिडियाको टपिक लिएर मैले यसरी कुरा नगरेको धेरै भइसक्यो। सो के यताउता हुन गएमा मलाई माफ गरिदिनु होला। हुन त धेरै वर्ष मैले मिडियामा बिताएको छैन, न फिल्म इन्डस्ट्रीमा भनौँ, बल्ल वर्ष मात्र भयो म यो इन्डस्ट्रीमा आएको। मलाई लाग्छ मैले चाहिँ पोजिटिभ कुराहरू मात्र सेयर गर्नुपर्छ। अहिले धेरै भित्रतिर जान सकेको छैन, सायद त्यो मौका पनि मैले पाउनेछु पछि। हाम्रो नेपालको इन्डस्ट्री पनि विकासतर्फ लाग्दैछ। डिरेक्टर, प्रोड्युसर, एक्टरहरू एकदमै पढे लेखेको, क्रिएटिभ, एकदम लिटरेट हुनुहुन्छ अहिले। मलाई लाग्छ उहाँहरू देख्दाखेरि अबको 10 वर्षमा इन्डस्ट्री एकदम अगाडि जानेछ। जस्तै अर्पण दाई हुनुहुन्छ यहाँ, आसिफ दाई हुनुहुन्छ, उहाँहरू फिल्म इन्डस्ट्रीमा आउनु भएको छ, प्रवीणजी हुनुहुन्छ। यो एकदमै पोजिटिभ कुरा हो। उहाँहरू आएर यस्तो धेरै नै चमत्कार चाहिँ भइसकेको छ इन्डस्ट्रीमा र म थ्याङ्कफुल छु मिडिया प्रति पनि जसले चाहिँ मलाई यो ठाउँसम्म ल्याइदिनु भएको छ। म अलिकति बढी हम्बल भइरहेको छु। त्यही नै भन्न चाहन्छु। अरू कुराहरू त सायद सरले गर्नुभएको क्वेसनहरूमा पनि आउनेछ एन्सरहरू। थ्याङ्क यू सो मच।
थ्याङ्क यू विनिता। अब म उजेजीलाई अनुरोध गर्दछु।
हेलो, फर्स्ट अफ अल चाहिँ म नारायणजीलाई धन्यवाद भन्न चाहन्छु। अनि देन आई वुड लाइक टु थ्याङ्क हिमालयन टेलिभिजन टु क्रिएट सच अ प्लेटफर्म लाइक दिस where we are actually talking about how to take forward Nepal Nirman भन्ने विषयलाई लिइकन हामी डिबेट गर्दैछौँ र they've given us an opportunity to actually talk from our industry perspective. Even though media and entertainment भनेर तपाईले जुन सेगमेन्ट राख्नु भएको छ, it's a very broader segment because I come from an advertising background, हैन। अनि what I did was like यो फोरममा यो प्यानल डिस्कसनमा अलिकति केही थट प्रोसेस ट्रिगर गरौँ भनेर मैले सर्टेन डेटाजहरू पनि हेरेको थिएँ र आई एक्चुअली ट्राई टु लुक फर द डेटाज रिलेटेड टु मिडिया एन्ड इन्टरटेनमेन्ट इन्डस्ट्री इन दिस कन्ट्री बट अनफर्चुनेटली आई डिडन्ट गट एनी अफ दोज, यु नो। Therefore, what I had to do was, the only rescue was to look at our neighborhood, obviously, which is Indian industry. And I just found out the astonishing data, you know, like, which I brought here. I would like to share with you guys, you know, like, एउटा फिकी र केपीएमजी भन्ने एकाउन्टिङ फर्मले रिसर्च गरेकोमा चाहिँ के देखियो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ मिडिया एन्ड इन्टरटेनमेन्ट इन्डस्ट्री इन इन्डिया इज अलमोस्ट 14.4 बिलियन र 2015 सम्म चाहिँ 28.1 बिलियन US डलरको हुन्छ भनेर देखाएको छ, हैन। That is one part of the story, but now I want to come back to my industry, which is advertising, which is a very small segment of that particular whole industry. अनि फर्दर डेटा एनालिसिस गरेर हेर्दा चाहिँ के थाहा पाइयो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ जेनरली अब कसैले पनि कुनै एउटा ट्रेन्ड हेर्नुपर्छ भने युएस कुनै डेभलपमेन्ट इकोनोमीलाई हेरिन्छ। त्यो थट प्रोसेसमा चाहिँ हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ लाइक कुनै पनि डेभलप इकोनोमी या युएसमा चाहिँ 2 to 3% अफ जीडीपी इज एक्चुअली स्पेन्ड अन एडभर्टाइजिङ रहेछ क्या। एन्ड देन आई चेक्ड वाट इज देयर विथ इन्डिया because obviously we benchmark a lot of things with Indian context. India was 0.4% at this point of time. And then I tried to check that with my own industry here. And I found that it is so disappointing to see that it is only 0.0002% of the whole GDP of the country. But having said that, there are certain positive thought processes as well. Advertising industry, from my knowledge, is growing at around 10 to 15%. One of the reasons, thanks to the media industries here, which is fueled by a lot of new media players coming to the market. Like for example, Nepal, there are around 14 channels, more than 100 FM stations, 13 national dailies, and so many publications, as we all know. You know, maybe because of that, you know, like the industry is growing. But the one of the most alarming, you know, like thought process was also to see what kind of content is being created in the media industry in Nepal. Television industry ma herne ho bhane हामी कहाँ 14 वटा च्यानल मध्ये only 2टा च्यानल त्यस्तो छ जसले चाहिँ इन्टरटेनमेन्ट कन्टेन्टमा काम गर्छ के। एन्ड जति पनि अरु च्यानल्सहरु छ उनीहरु सबै न्यूजलाई लिएर काम गर्छ, न्यूजलाई कन्टेन्ट बनाएर काम गर्छ। एन्ड त्यसमा पनि अरु पनि जनरल इन्टरटेनमेन्ट च्यानल भए तापनि जनरल इन्टरटेनमेन्ट प्लस न्यूज छ, यो 5 वटा एक्सक्लुसिभ न्यूज च्यानल छ। र मेरो थट प्रोसेसमा मलाई के लाग्यो भन्दा अलमोस्ट 70% अफ आवर न्यूज 7% of our television content is news at this point of time. Research गरेर सबै एडभर्टाइजिङ इन्डस्ट्रीमा मिडिया रिसर्च हुने गर्दछ र मिडिया इन्डस्ट्री को रिगार्डमा हामीले रिसर्च गर्दा सधैँ के देख्नुहुन्छ न्यूज चाहिँ बढी ज्यादा भ्युअरशिप भएको देखिन्छ के। बट माई थट प्रोसेस इज one of the reason for that is because everybody is creating news content only and not entertainment content. Therefore, it's a high time that all the media industry as such should look for the entertainment content as well. That can be a breakthrough for this industry. यो एउटा थॉट प्रोसेस हो. अर्को थॉट प्रोसेस चाहिँ के पनि ल्याएको छु भन्दाखेरि लाइक इन टर्म्स अफ जनरल इन्टरटेनमेन्ट कन्टेन्ट इन्डियाको च्यानल्सहरू या फरेन च्यानल्सहरूमा हेर्ने हो भने चाहिँ बेसिकली अ च्यानल इज ओन्ली अ ब्रोडकास्टर एन्ड कन्टेन्ट क्रिएटर इज समबडी एल्स. Like as we all know, Balaji or UTV, these are the guys who actually create contents, and the channel is only broadcasting it. And there is some arrangement between the channel and the content creators of compensating them with regard to some kind of rating point, program rating point. That hasn't started in this country. Therefore, that is another area where we can work to develop this sector. There is another thought process that we brought in was with regard to the clean feed. Obviously, like we've been debating about the clean feed in this country for a very, very long time. But practically, it seems in a policy level, it is not possible. Therefore, I have a different viewpoint where, what if, actually what I'm trying to say is all the foreign channels that is actually telecasting those advertisements in this part of the world is not gaining anything out of the content that they have created. Therefore, what if we look at it from a different angle and we say that it could be a business proposition for them as well? In terms of selling those content in this market, if we are able to do that, my industry as such, like media and advertising industry, I feel will grow manyfold. I suppose that is what I have to say at this point of time.
थ्याङ्क यू अजयजी. उहाँले अत्यन्त अनुसन्धानात्मक रिपोर्ट प्रस्तुत गर्नुभयो र यो नियर टु रियालिटी पनि थियो. आफ्नो मन्तव्यको लागि धन्यवाद. त्यस्तै अब आसिफ शाह, नेपाली चलचित्र उद्योग, यसको अभाव, यसको प्रभाव, भावी योजना र सरकार अथवा नीति निर्माणकर्तालाई हामीले दिन सक्ने सम्भाव्य सुझाव के हुन सक्छ, आफ्नो मन्तव्यको लागि अनुरोध गर्दछु.
सर्वप्रथम नमस्कार सबैलाई र धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद नारायण दाईलाई र हिमालयन टिभीलाई यस मञ्चमा मलाई दिग्गज व्यक्तित्वहरूसँगै सामेल गराइदिनु भएकोमा. सर्वप्रथम आज चाहिँ मैले नोट डाउन गर्दाखेरि माथि चाहिँ के बोल्ने भनेर लेखाएर रहेछु कि कन्फ्युज. एनिवेज, सिन्स म चाहिँ नेपाली फिल्म र नेपाली मिडियासँग आबद्ध छु, नेपाली फिल्म र नेपाली मिडियाले सबभन्दा बढी भोग्नु परेको र अन्य फिल्डले भोग्नु नपरेको चिज चाहिँ अभियसली लोड सेडिङ, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नहुनु नै हो. अब यसले कतिसम्म असर परेको छ त्यो तपाईँहरूलाई सबैलाई थाहा छँदैछ. स्पेसली फिल्ममा चाहिँ कस्तो छ भन्दाखेरि हामीले फिल्म सुटिङ गर्दाखेरि जुन तरिकाको समस्या झेल्छौँ. हिजो 1000 रुपियाँमा हुने चिज 1500 तिर्नुपर्छ, जेनेरेटर ल्याउनुपर्छ. सायद यो कार्यक्रम पनि जेनेरेटरले नै भइरह हो भन्न सकिन्न. सर्वप्रथम त सबैजना मिलेर, फिल्म इन्डस्ट्री मात्र नभइकन अन्य पनि इन्डस्ट्री मिलेर आफ्नो हातेमालो गरी यो इलेक्ट्रिसिटीकै प्रब्लमलाई सुल्झाउनु पर्छ. हुन त अब अलि सबैले भनिरहेको कुरा, तर भन्दा चाहिँ अलि ठुलै कुरा बोल्यो हो कि जस्तो नि लाग्ने, तर एकदम ठुलो समस्या भइसकेको समस्या. र इलेक्ट्रिसिटीको यो प्रब्लम सुल्झिसकेपछि हामीले राम्रो फिल्म बनाउन सक्छौँ, प्रोडक्टिभिटी राम्रो हुन्छ, धेरै काम गर्न सक्छौँ. र धेरै काम गरिसकेपछि हाम्रो अर्को समस्या भनेको के भने हामीसँग यति राम्रो राम्रो ट्यालेन्टहरू छ इन टर्म्स अफ एक्टर. जस्तो भोला सापकोटा जसले बर्फी भन्ने फिल्म बलिउडमा गएर खेले रणवीर कपुरसँग, अन्य जस्तै सौगात मल्ल हुनुहुन्छ, अर्पण थापा हुनुहुन्छ, राम्रा राम्रा कलाकारहरू हुनुहुन्छ यहाँ हामीसँग. त्यसै गरी डिरेक्टरहरू पनि इन्टरनेसनल एक्सपोजर पाइसकेका डिरेक्टरहरू पनि हाम्रो इन्डस्ट्रीमा हुनुहुन्छ. तर हाम्रो फिल्मलाई इन्टरनेसनल तरिकाले कसरी लाने त, अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय बजारीकरण कसरी गर्ने, यो कुरा फिल्म इन्डस्ट्रीले मात्रै सोचेर हुँदैन या हामीले मात्रै सोचेर चाहिँ सम्भव छैन. त्यसको लागि चाहिँ सरकारबाट नै नीति नियम बनेर त्यसमा चाहिँ पहल हुनुपर्छ जस्तो लाग्छ. मुख्यत भनाइ मेरो यही नै हो. हामीले पहिला चाहिँ अवसर पाउनु पऱ्यो काम गर्ने. त्यसको लागि यो इलेक्ट्रिसिटीको जुन प्रब्लम छ त्यो कम हुँदै जाओस्. जो आफ्नो ठाउँमा हुनुहुन्छ, जसले यो समस्यालाई समाधान गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ त्यो गरिदिनु पऱ्यो. त्यसै हाम्रो चलचित्रलाई चाहिँ अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय बजारीकरण गर्नको लागि चाहिँ सहयोग गरिदिनु पर्यो सरकारले। मुख्यतः यही नै भन्न चाहन्छु म। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद आसिफ आफ्नो सागर्भिक मन्तव्यको लागि, सोचको लागि। म यहाँहरूसँग के अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छु भने हामीसँग दक्ष जनशक्ति छैन अथवा हामीसँग प्राविधिक रूपमा हामी सक्षम छैनौँ भन्ने हामीलाई कहिले पनि लाग्दैन। यहाँहरूलाई जानकारी दिउँ, युएस एम्बेसीले सर्ट फिल्म कम्पिटिसन गराएको थियो। 2 मिनटभित्रको डेमोक्रेसी सब्जेक्टमा फिल्म बनाउनु पर्ने थियो। त्यो विश्व विजेता हाम्रो नेपाली भाइ नै थियो, अनुप पौडेल। हामीसँग त्यो सिर्जना गर्ने मानिसहरूमा कमी छैन। म फेरि अर्को घटना सुनाउन चाहन्छु। 2008मा एचआइभी एड्स सर्ट फिल्म कम्पिटिसन गरिएको थियो, जसमा आसिफ उत्कृष्ट तेस्रोमा परेका थिए। त्यतिखेर पनि युएस एम्बेसी, युएस एड र नेपाल इन्भेस्टमेन्ट ब्याङ्कको सहकारी थियो, तर तिनै पक्षलाई त्यो विश्वास थिएन कि नेपालमा यस्ता खालका मेकरहरू होलान् र अनि इमर्जिङ मेकरलाई लिएर केही काम गरौँ, सम्भावना छ भनेर त्यो एउटा विश्वास, त्यो प्रत्याभूति दिएको अवस्थामा बडो डर पनि लागेको थियो। तर आजको झन्डै 80% फिल्म इन्डस्ट्री त्यही समुदायले धानेको छ। त्यसले नेपाली चलचित्र उद्योगलाई अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय बजारमा पुर्याएको छ। त्यस्तै मिडियाको कुरा गर्दाखेरि पनि पुरातन सोचबाट मुक्त भएर अहिले मिडियाले धेरै नै ठुलो फड्को मारिसकेको छ। तर यो अवस्थामा हामीले सरकार अथवा नीति निर्माणकर्ताबाट पाउनुपर्ने धेरै सुविधाबाट वञ्चित छौँ। उदाहरणको लागि हामी अघि भर्खर कुरा गऱ्यौँ, फिल्म इन्डस्ट्रीको त त्यो आफ्नो दुर्भाग्य छँदैछ। चाहे अन्य प्रिन्ट मिडिया अथवा ब्रोडकास्टिङमा काम गर्नेको पनि एउटा दुःखद घटना, दुःखद क्षण। जस्तो हामीसँग लोड सेडिङको मारमा हामी पर्छौँ र हामीसँग आफ्नो इन्धन छैन, अनि इन्धन पनि हामीले अर्काको भरमा पर्नुपर्छ, जहाँ नाका बन्द भइरहेछ, हडतालहरू बन्द हडताल भइराखेका हुन्छ, अनि 24 घण्टा चलाउनु पर्ने रेडियो, टिभी अथवा पत्रिका प्रकाशन गर्नुपर्ने यी काम हामीले कसरी काम गर्न सक्छौँ? यो अवस्थामा हुन त सरकारले घाँस बाँस कपासको लागि नै एउटा प्रत्याभूति दिन सकेका छैन, त्यसको लागि नै राहत दिन सकेका छैन। यो अवस्थामा अतिरिक्त आवश्यकताका कुरालाई राहत दिनुपर्छ भनेर माग्न सक्ने अवस्थामा हामी छैनौँ। तथापि यदि मास मिडियाले अथवा इन्टरटेनमेन्टले राष्ट्रको गरिमालाई अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय बजारमा पुर्याएको हो भन्ने अलिकति पनि महसुस हुन्छ भने ती नीति निर्माणकर्ताहरूले अवश्य पनि यसलाई भोलिका दिनमा हेर्नेछन्। सायद त्यसैको लागि पनि यो हाम्रो एक किसिमको ब्रेन स्टर्मिङ हो। यो सोच, यो अवधारणा, यो चिन्तन यस किसिमको हुनुपर्छ भनेर हामीले सोचेका हौँ। त्यसकारण चाहिँ फेरि पनि आसिफजीलाई यहाँको मन्तव्यको लागि हार्दिक धन्यवाद प्रकट गर्छु। मालविकाजी, जसले चाहिँ सबै पत्रकारिता, कलाकारिता, कला, धर्म, अन्य अभिव्यक्ति सबै कुरामा उहाँ विज्ञ हुनुहुन्छ, पोक्त हुनुहुन्छ, अनुभवी हुनुहुन्छ। अभावको प्रभाव पनि उहाँलाई थाहा छ। अब उहाँबाट केही अवधारणा प्रस्तुत गर्नको लागि अनुरोध गर्दछु।
थ्याङ्क यू सो मच। तपाईँले भन्नुभन्दा अगाडि, बिफोर आई वाज अबाउट टु स्टार्ट, आई वाज एक्ज्याक्टली गोइङ टु से द सेम थिङ, द्याट मैले टेलिभिजनदेखि, प्रिन्टदेखि, एड्स, प्याजेन्ट्स, फिल्म्स, मोडलिङ सबै भ्याएँ। रेडियो मात्रै गर्न पाइनँ। आई एम स्टिल ओपन टु रेडियो आइडियाज. If that will ever happen, I am very happy to be an RJ. Hopefully I have a good voice. A roadmap of Nepal in the 12 months, भन्दाखेरि मलाई सुरुमा चाहिँ अलिकति I'm a little confused. किनभने हामीलाई यहाँ 1 month सम्मको आजकल स्केड्युल पाइन्छ है, 12 महिनाको सम्म स्केड्युल चाहिँ थाहा छैन। पहिला एक हप्तामा धेरै कुराहरू थाहा हुन्थ्यो, धनमा आजकल चाहिँ प्रोफेसनल भएर 1 महिना अगाडि थाहा हुन्छ। So I think it has improved than before. Having worked here in the last 12 years, मैले त्यो आफ्नो एक्सपिरियन्सबाट भनेको, couple of things that I've outlined, जति पनि इन्डस्ट्रीमा म काम गरेको छु त्यसको कुराहरू मैले आउटलाइन गरेको छु। I think those are major points. आफ्नै एउटा फ्यासन कम्पनी भएको नाताले पनि फ्यासन डिजाइनर्सहरूको लागि इन्टरनेसनल मार्केटमा गएर आफ्नो कलेक्सन देखाउने बाटो अहिलेसम्म आएको छैन, even though they are as talented as any international designer around the world. Number 2, टेक्सटाइल इन्डस्ट्री छैन नेपालमा, जसले गर्दाखेरि हामीले बाहिरबाट आएका फ्याब्रिक्सहरू किन्नुपर्ने हुन्छ र त्यो फ्याब्रिक्सहरू हामीले किन्दाखेरि हामीलाई धेरै महँगो पर्न आउँछ। महँगो हुनासाथ यहाँ मासमा बेच्नलाई हामीलाई प्रफिटेबल हुँदैन। सो द्याट्स वाइ मोस्ट अफ द इन्डस्ट्रिज ह्याड टु क्लोज डाउन। गार्मेन्ट इन्डस्ट्रीलाई मार परेको पनि त्यही हो र हाम्रो अहिलेको डिजाइनर्सहरूलाई मर्का परेको पनि त्यही हो। वी निड द टेक्सटाइल इन्डस्ट्री टु बी रिभाइभड। Fashion Council board छैन नेपालमा. Even if you see इन्डियामा नै तपाईको हाम्रो हेर्यो भने फ्यासन डिजाइन काउन्सिलले डिजाइनर्सहरूलाई इन्टरनेशनल बायर्ससँग मिलाइदिने, उहाँहरूलाई भेटाइदिने, इन्डियामै बोलाउने र फ्यासन डिजाइनर्सहरूको कलेक्सन देखाउने every year, not just a year but twice in every year. र त्यो एउटा रिच त्यो पुर्याइदिने फ्यासन बोर्ड छैन हामीसँग. अब म एड तर्फ जान चाहन्छु, मोडलिङ लाइन तर्फ पनि जान चाहन्छु. फ्यासन शोज एभ्री विक एभ्री मन्थ जस्तो भइराखेको छ, तर 3-4 हजार भन्दा धेरै दिन सक्दैन कुनै पनि मोडललाई. त्यो पनि नयाँ स्टार्टिङ फ्रेशर्सलाई 2500 हुन्छ जम्मा उनीहरूको काम. अनि त्यसमाथि पनि दे डोन्ट गेट एनिथिङ. समटाइम्स दे डोन्ट गेट फुड, दे डोन्ट गेट वेल फेसिलिटिज बेसिकली. इभन इफ यु आर अ फुल फ्लेजेड प्रोफेसनल मोडल 8,000 पाउनु भनेको पनि एकदमै ठुलो कुरा हो. Unless it's like one of those high profile events which happens again once a year and which pays about 10 models. Keeping that aside, on a regular basis the models are also underpaid. अनि अहिले कस्तो भइराखेको छ भने एजेन्सीज र कर्पोरेट क्लाइन्ट्सबाट पनि सकेसम्म कहाँबाट पैसा कम गरौँ, कहाँबाट पैसा कम गर्ने भन्दा चाहिँ टेक्निशियन्सलाई चाहिँ पैसा दिने, डिरेक्टरलाई पनि पैसा दिने, क्यामेरा एडिटर सबैलाई पैसा दिने, जसले खेलिरहेको छ जो फेस हो त्यसलाई चाहिँ कहाँबाट म पैसा कम दिउँ भनेर सोच्नु हुँदो रहेछ. र कतिजनाले फ्रीमा खेलाउन खोज्नुहुन्छ. आई नो एभ्रीबडी वान्ट्स टु बी अ मोडल. अप्यारेन्टली आजकल यङ्स्टर्सहरूलाई मोडलिङ फिल्ड एकदम ग्ल्यामरस लाग्छ, उहाँहरूलाई एकदम राम्री हुनुपर्छ, राम्रो देखिनुपर्छ. I get emails and messages every single day on Facebook asking me, I want to be a model. How can I be a model? When I look at the pictures, I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? Of course, I can't say to them. And of course, when they want to come into the field, they want to do it for free. But for people who are professional, it's creating a barrier because those who deserve it are not getting paid also at the same time. अनि पहिला पहिला चाहिँ even 10 years down the line, हाम्रो सबै even इन्डियामा बनेको एड्सहरू चाहिँ यहाँ नेपालीमा डब हुन्थ्यो. आजकल thank God for multinational companies, they're making Nepali ads with Nepali people. I'm really glad that has happened. Even in fact, I just recently did an ad for Baltra, which now they've dubbed it in Hindi, which is a first. I think it's a first, and now they're showing it in Indian channels. So it's taking a step forward. I also recently, now afno achievement ko matre kura gare haina, but this is since a personal experience sharing basis. I recently went to India to shoot for a Nepali jewelry brand. Ani malai धेरै जनाले नेपाली भएर इन्डिया गएर किन shoot गरेको भनेर कस्तो accusatory question लगाए. मैले I said, I think that's an amazing thing that now we have the capacity. Yes, I know that we did not use Nepali technicians, we did not use Nepali people, Nepali crew. हामी नेपाली modelsहरू यहाँबाट गयो इन्डियामा. And the way they treated us there, it was amazing. The best part was production team ma, there were so many women. I was so impressed. हाम्रो यहाँ production team ma हेर्नुहुन्छ भने you will hardly see any women or no women at all. And I think for us it was a learning experience, and a learning experience of the way that they worked, professionalism, from everything to respecting everything that they did. It was a learning experience also at the same time. The main focus I would also like to want to do is contracts. Media and contracts are like, I don't know what it is. हामीले कति contract गर्छौं, contract माग्छौं. Contract कहिलेकाहीँ भ्यालिडै हुँदैन रहेछ यहाँ त. सिग्नेचर हुन्छ, कम्पनीको छाप पनि हुन्छ. पैसा पाएन भने कसलाई गुहारेर जाने? You go to court and how long does it take for it to file? I mean, I don't want to just be paid 500 rupees after I win the case, would I? So I would rather like let it go. किन रिसिभ गर्ने? अनि चिनेको मान्छेले काम दिन खोज्यो, एमसीएस दिन खोज्यो, दाइ कन्ट्र्याक्ट गरौँ न. हाँ बहिनी ट्रस्टै गर्दैन क्या हामीलाई, तिमीले के भन्न ठानेको? पैसा खाएर भाग्छौ हामी भन्छ त्यस्तो मान्छेले. लास्टमा त्यही मान्छे पैसा खाएर भागिरहेको हुन्छ के. You don't know. Like, I still have about 2 lakhs that I have to take out from the market. I don't know where the person is. कहाँ एब्सकन भयो, कहाँ गयो, घर सर छोडेर फोन नम्बर चेन्ज गरेर कहाँ पुगिसक्यो, म कसलाई गुहार्न जाउँ मलाई थाहा छैन. कन्ट्र्याक्टको लायबिलिटी एकदम बनाउनु पर्नेछ. I think it's high time. Like recently I was watching this Karan Johar show with Madhuri Dixit. Chavla, उहाँले के भनिरहनु भने आजकल इन्डियामा पनि 50 पेजको कन्ट्र्याक्ट हुन्छ अरे के. It's that legally binding. हाम्रो त एउटा पेजको कन्ट्र्याक्टको पैसा लिनलाई पनि कति गाह्रो हुन्छ हैन? अनि most of the times, as most of you media people who work in front of the camera know, काम गर्ने बेलामा चाहिँ जसले काम गराउँछ घर भएन भएन यस्तो यस्तो भनेर कराएन. Once the work is finished, everyone vanishes. अनि पैसा दिने बेला आफूले खै दाइ पैसा, खै दिदी पैसा, where's my money, where's my money? And they're always running. Half the time they don't pick up their calls. When they called us unprofessional because we didn't pick up our calls in the beginning of the work. Now, I think that also has to change. And, of course, the male and female discrimination about payment. Like, when I started my career, when I used to do MCs, I used to get paid like 5,000 rupees. When my counterparts who were men used to get 10,000, more than 5,000 than me, and I used to fight. कहिलेकाहीँ 2,000 को लागि म झगडा गर्नु किन उसलाई 12,000 पे गरेको किन मलाई 10,000 पे. I used to fight. And I thought, someday I'm going to change that. You know, I worked so hard every single day on events, on MCing. I perfected myself. I honed on my language skills. I honed on my stage presence. And now, hopefully, amongst the women category, I am one of the highest paid MCs. And I worked really hard for it. But at the same time, मैले यो मात्रै feel proud गर्नु हुँदैन कि म एकजनाले मात्रै गरिरहेको छु भने I don't want to feel proud. I want every woman in media to be paid as the same as the male counterparts when मीडियामा केटीहरूलाई किन बढी हाइलाइट गरिन्छ त आइटम सङमा किन केटीलाई नै धेरै हालिन्छ त पोस्टर्समा तपाईको कुनै फिल्म I'm not trying to be a little judgmental here. हाम्रो फिल्मका पारखीहरू पनि हुनुहुन्छ तर केटीलाई नै किन हाइलाइट गर्ने त जबकि उसको 5 सेकेन्ड पनि रोल हुँदैन कहिलेकाहीँ. I watched this film. There was this main lead heroine, and then I went to watch that film, Nepali film नै हो, thinking that she's one of the main lead actors and she's everywhere in the film. Apparently she's only in for 10 minutes and she's highlighted in the huge poster. I don't think that's fair that you're using women in a very glamorous way, but you're paying them less. So I think it's high time. अनि हाम्रो यहाँ अर्को चलन अब हामीले असिस्टेन्ट राख्ने हामीले चाहिँ हाम्रो मिडल म्यान राख्ने चलन छैन सो पर्सनल बेसिसमा नै काम गराइन्छ एज आई सेड पैसाको नेगोसिएसन जब आउँछ लेट्स से इफ आई से 50,000 हैन बहिनी 40 मा गर्दिन हैन दाइ प्लिज 45 हैन बहिनी 35 मा गर्दिउ न गर्दा गर्दै त्यो रिलेसन कहाँबाट कहाँ पुग्छ नै म बुझ्दिन हैन अनि लाइक आई सेड पाउने बेलामा कहिलेकाहीँ हाफ द पेमेन्ट मात्रै पाउँछ सो देयर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स दैट हैज टु बी चेन्ज्ड अफ कोर्स बिसाइड्स द changing part that has to be done. There has been a lot of changes. There has been amazing corporate clients, corporate people who are supporting us right now. Films bata pani kunai product highlight garyo bhane pani paisa kamaउने कुराहरु निस्किसक्यो. And you also get a lot of endorsement works for a lot of people. विडम्बना यति मात्रै छ कि हामीले एउटा मात्रै सेक्टरमा बसेर काम गर्न सकिदैन रहेछ नेपालमा. जस्तै as if from all we started television almost together. Hamle TV were start gardakeri we had no choice. Like he went into video direction and apparently he went into films. He also did MCing. I started doing modeling. So 5-6 वटा career नबनाइकन हामीलाई पैसा कमाउन चाहिँ धेरै गाह्रो छ. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much मालविका जी.
हवस् त आजको लागि यति नै. भोलि हामी फरक नयाँ विषयवस्तु र फरक नयाँ प्यानल डिस्कसनका साथ उपस्थित हुने नै छौं. तबसम्मको लागि म कार्यक्रम प्रस्तुता उमिता बस्नेत लगायत मेरा सम्पूर्ण कार्यक्रम युनिटलाई बिदा दिनुहोस्. नमस्ते. नमस्कार. हिमालय टेलिभिजनको यस विशेष कार्यक्रममा यहाँलाई स्वागत छ. म उमिता बस्नेत. यस विशेष कार्यक्रममा हामी जेठ 18 र 19 गते सोल्टी होटलमा आयोजना भएको एशियन पेन्ट्स नेपाल निर्माण 2071 को कार्यक्रम यहाँहरूमाझ विगत केही दिनदेखि प्रस्तुत गरिरहेका छौं. यस कार्यक्रमलाई एचटीभी इभेन्ट्सले आयोजना गरेको थियो भने यसका सहप्रायोजकहरू भने नेशनल इन्स्योरेन्स कम्पनी, अरिहन्त ट्राभल्स, अरिहन्त एडुकेशन, जोनी वकर र पेप्सी रहेका थिए. यसको रेडियो पार्टनर रेडियो अडियो रहेको थियो भने यसको न्यूज च्यानल पार्टनर न्यूज 24 रहेको थियो. दर्शकवृन्द, आजको कार्यक्रममा शैक्षिक क्षेत्रसँग आबद्ध हुनुभएका विभिन्न व्यक्तित्वहरूको प्यानल डिस्कसन यहाँहरूमाझ राख्न गइरहेका छौं. तसर्थ उक्त कार्यक्रममा आईसीए, आईईसी कलेज, आईएसटी कलेज, ग्लोबल कलेज, अरिहन्त एडुकेशन र एनआरएन एसोसिएशन डिस्टेन्स लर्निङका प्रतिनिधिहरूको उपस्थिति रहेको थियो.
First call upon to put his views the executive director and principal of King's College, who is also the Management Association of Nepal Manager of the Year award winner for the latest, that is 2013 award winner, Mr. Narottam Aryan.
We seriously lack a unified direction and unified leadership in our higher education. there is ministry which governs foreign education. There are universities which are on their own. So universities are on their own. University is like turning like maybe one side. Universities are turning one side. The university is turning, the ministry is turning other side. So I sincerely urge, let's have a unified agency which at least develops a unified vision for this country. What is the human resource requirement? We are not sick and tired of saying that education is the backbone. But then, have we really treated education as a backbone? I think it's a common sense and established fact that all over the world, the development starts with the development in education. So education can be considered as the foundation. The other things can be built over that. But then the sad part is that the Ministry of Education has never been on priority in our before our political parties. The ministers come and go, secretaries come and go. So who is leading this country? I mean the education of this country. So I think the first and foremost point that I think I would like to highlight on is that we need to have a centralized agency which develops a unified vision based on the need of this country, so that based on which we can build our other development initiatives. Similarly, the next major problem that I can see over the last so many years, maybe more than decades, 2 decades, we have been discussing on and fighting against each other on the role of the conflict between the role of conflict in the role of the government and the private sector. We are still struggling whether it is the government's job or responsibility to provide education, or is the private sector's job. For me, I think the matter has already been solved and resolved, because unless and until we work together, we can't reach anywhere. I think we need to work in tandem. Of course, there are certain areas the government can contribute more, and of course, there are certain areas the private sector could contribute more. That's why I think once and for all, we need to resolve the issue of whether the major roles should be played by the government or the private sector. I think we can't prolong the same discussion on and on. And it's everyday news, and there are a lot of controversies regarding private sector's contribution. We are not looking at the contribution of private sector positively. I think private sector also equally contributes to the quality of education and to educating the youth of this country. For me, the government is still confused as to what to regulate. I feel that the government is trying to regulate the periphery, leaving the core. I sincerely urge the government to, concentrate on regulating the core of the status of education, the quality of education, rather than trying to regulate the length of the skirt and the width of the buckle. I think it's really ridiculous. So why can't we focus on the core of the quality of education that really impacts on the quality, and leave the individual forms the autonomy in their other operations. Talking about private sector, of course there are serious issues. Besides of course the positive contributions they have made, starting from the kindergarten to higher education. There has been a tremendous contribution from the private sector. But then, of course, because we are pretty new, the private sector started providing education only after the restoration of democracy in 1990.
I now request Mr. Sohan Babu Khatri, advisor to Arihant Education, also the CEO of 3H Management Consultancy. He has a faculty in many management colleges, Kusum, KSCM, ACE, King's, many management colleges, also on the Grand Bank Board of Directors, to share his ideas with respect to higher education, with respect to what concrete steps can be done, both from business community point of view and government point of view in the sphere of education.
Any youths in this country do not know what exactly is the national priority right now. Of course, our national priority is building constitution, drafting constitution, but is that the means or is that the end? So please talk about the end and cascade that national priority into personal priority, make it easier for everybody to understand what should be our personal, societal, and community level objective. So talking about education, I'll try to present few of the scenarios which probably explains where our education system is going and how probably it is wrongly designed. Scenario number one, I interact with a lot of my students during graduation ceremony, and I get one common, very, very common response from all graduating students if I ask one question. That is, okay, you've completed your graduation or post-graduation. What happened? I'm not asking what you learned. I'd ask what happened. And one common answer, the answer which is very common that would come out is, so we don't know what happened. It's over. It's over, we don't know what happened. नेपालीमा सिधै भन्दाखेरि खोइ थाहा के भयो सक्यो सर. My MBA is over, my BBA is over, my BE is over. So basically education has not been, we have not been able to design an enjoyable experience in the education system. Now the root is at the origin itself. Another scenario. One of the students who did graduation here in one of the best colleges went to foreign university in a foreign land, got educated there, and came back to the same college as an alumni and was saying this to one teacher. Sir, पढाउने भने त त्यसरी पो रहेछ त. हाम्रो जस्तो गरेर पढाएर सर यो हेर्नुस् त he showed one book of one subject to that faculty who teaches the same subject. यो बुक हेर्नुस् त सर यो बुकबाट पढाउनु पर्ने रहेछ नि. And the faculty said, तँलाई कुन बुकबाट पढाइयो त? This is exactly the book which is in your course outline, and I taught throughout from this particular book. Have you ever realized it? And his point was, what was that teaching style you were talking about in the foreign land which we should emulate? And he said, don't teach. Don't teach the way you are teaching here. What is done to us in that class is we are giving the topics. We'll be given the overview of the topic, and we are said, solve the case, solve the assignment. Now, बाध्यताले उनले त्यो सेल्फ डिस्कभरीबाट पढ्नै पर्ने उसको लागि त्यो राम्रो भयो. यहाँनिर हामीले एक एक कुरा फ्याकल्टीले टिचरले पढाइरहँदाखेरि उसको लागि त्यो कुनै मान्यता नराख्ने कुरा हो. This is second scenario. Third scenario. About 5-6 years back, when I used to ask my undergrad students, final year, what are you all aspiring to be? Then 90% of them would raise hand and say, banker. Now, I ask the same question to the graduating students, and the answer is, please, no banker. Now, it is entrepreneur. I want to be an entrepreneur. But again, getting back to the psychology of the students who says both of them, there is one common factor in both of these cases. Glamour and materialism. The mindset behind saying banking was, they thought banking is glamorous, that is where money is, that is where status is. And the mindset behind today telling I want to be an entrepreneur is almost same, because now that is being glamorized in our society, being an entrepreneur. Everywhere startup weekend is going on, everybody are aspiring to be an entrepreneur, but again, how many of them turn out to be an entrepreneur, we yet got to look at that, but it is very good, at least our youngsters are trying to be their own boss.
Let me invite next Ms. Sanjana Basnet, the director of IST International School of Tourism, IST College, to speak next with respect to tourism, hospitality, and this sector.
Education, we've been hearing since childhood that education is important, and then we push our kids to the school, we push our people whom we know to the schools and colleges. But we rarely ask them question like, what is the field you want to go? You know, a lot of time when we interview the candidates, and then when we say like, why you are choosing this field, the very ready-made kind of answer we get is because my parents want me to go into this sector. Because of that, we don't see a kind of feeling, you know, inside these young boys and girls. Or they say, I want to be a chef. And if we ask them, like, why you want to be a chef? They say, one of my uncle is working in a 5-star hotel and then earning a handsome amount of salary. That's why I want to be a chef. So the general notion of the kids these days is just copycat. Rather than following your heart, rather than doing what they actually want to do, they do it because their parents want them to do. And that's the reason we are not getting a productive manpower in the present context. And moving into the education, despite of so many bleak pictures, we have to accept that fact that education has really developed in folds. Because when we were in school, we were taught in very traditional way. The pedagogical system was memorize and then just go and vomit in the answer sheet. But by this time, when we are in the other side of the room, there are so many different ways of teaching students, like teaching so many life skills, giving them research work, giving them presentations. At least they become a professional, not only the graduates. And now, talking about the hospitality sector, when I entered the hospitality sector, I started working in an hospitality institution. That was the time, starting from the mid-level management, we only had imported manpower. Okay, we did not have like Nepalese, professionals in this field. Then came the hospitality education, and there are so many hotel management colleges now. Having affiliation from local universities, having affiliations from foreign universities. And I'm proud to say that when you walk into the hotel these days, you see lot of Nepalese professionals being graduated by the Nepalese hotel management colleges, Nepalese hospitality outlets. That is one of the contribution, I say, a major contribution in the HR, the human resources aspect. And tourism is such a field that it will never cease. It will keep on growing. People will never stop traveling, whether it's for pleasure, whether it's for their work, whether it's for some kinds of urgency. We do travel. And when we travel, we need a place where we can go and stay. And to run those kind of institutions, we need a hospitality graduates.
I'd move to the next lady speaker here, who is from another specialized field. Ms. Shailaja Adhikari, who has been recently also awarded as the Best Lady Entrepreneur of the Year with the Lady Entrepreneur of the Year award.
Government, they put so much of amount in a government sector, even in those schools also. They invest good amount. If you see this data in a fiscal year, they invest good amount in a school educations, in a primary educations, or like in a higher educations also, in till plus 2 also. See the pathetic conditions of that school. The children, they even don't understand those simple activities which I did, and they know the definitions, but they don't understand what is exactly meaning of a verb. The system of teaching here, if anyone is from government side, I want to request you that we have a good curriculum. If you'll see the website of Nepal government education system, the curriculum is good, everything is good, everything is there, but teaching methodology is missing. The approach to the students is missing. You invest such a good amount, you recruit a good teacher. I feel like you take exams and you recruit. While recruiting teachers also, you have to give emphasize on that thing is, are they well qualified rather than he is my someone or she is my someone, or like from he is from that party or that party. You are providing educations. That is not a joke that you are doing, right? So why not? That's when you hire people, hire someone who will be suitable for that post, should be well educated for that subject and well trained. That I think that is very important, because poor people are not here to get the poor education. That is very important. That if when you are in one somewhere like you are standing, if you are committed to provide quality things, then do provide that also. Not only that, I have a data of like the number of schools here in Nepal are 34,298. Among that, 8,416 are government high school, 14,447 are middle schools are from government side. See the number. See the number. And for private sector, it's just 5,298. Yes, for private sector, we are here to give you all these things. We are here to make the difference. But not only we, even government side, they have to do those also. And I think if you see their policies, they have lots of policies. And when they come to government, they always try to implement new policies. Instead of giving like new policies or applying new policies, I want to request the policies which you have, please implement that and monitor those policies. Are these schools, government schools, are really following those policies? Are they really doing these things properly? So please monitor that also. I have been to community schools also, but I found the community schools were better. So I want to suggest in the government that rather than government school, increase the number of community schools also. These are the points because like I feel all of us are from private sector. No one is talking about government sector or government schools. I should be a voice of those students also because I feel pity for them when I enter that schools, when I give a time to that school. For a day also, I want to teach them the way of new learning, the way of new experience. That's I want to try to. Then that students, that class, ma'am, tapai पछि पनि आउनुहुन्छ? I said, I can't promise, dear, but I will try. Not exactly next month, might be in a year or sometime. That's I will be in your school. And I spoke to the principal of that school also. I said, why not? You should speak to government. Why don't you do these things? I always, because it's been like, I think that this school is my 21st school. I am increasing the numbers in that manner. It's very small number among like those data which I presented. But then also I'm trying, but I think if my voice will be heard and then if something can be, you can do it for the students of those government schools, it's my request. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have the chairman, Vishwajit Mukherjee, to give his perspective on open distance learning university or education and the role of the government and the private sector in that. Vishwajit Mukherjee, chairman, ICA, IGNOU.
A student, say even a learner sitting in one of the remotest place of Nepal can get access to education which might not have been possible for him through a conventional mode, and can get access to one of the best world-class education. But we have to use ICT very effectively. Nepal, I was just trying to gather some stats about Nepalese hamro country go education stats. I was just trying to figure out. So what I found as per the World Bank report that 71 to 72% people are literate in Nepal, out of which and around 24% of the students or the population gets into secondary education, but 50% of them drops out before they actually complete secondary education, and the rest 50% who actually complete secondary education, out of that around roughly around 50 to 60% actually completes higher learning. So how do we cater to all these things? The people who are dropping out or people who are not able to educate themselves due to any reasons, maybe economic, maybe their social obligations. So how do we cater to all their needs? That's where actually distance learning or open and distance learning comes in. These days, we have been witnessing a very interesting group of people who are known as digital natives, who are glued to their, gadgets, or who are always, glued to the digital solutions. So they are digital natives. That's a global phenomenon happening, and same is the case in Nepal. So the government should now start focusing on ICT. ICT is one of the best solutions in today's world to take education to the doorsteps of every Nepali. And not only that, we have got lakhs of Nepalese working in the foreign land. Thousands of people are going out every day. Lakhs of people are in the workforce at various countries in the world, especially in the Middle East, Malaysia. So even they need education. They have sacrificed education for their economic purposes, for their own reasons, and have gone out for work. So even we need to educate them. When they come back, they will also be contributing to our, nation building. So how do we can even reach those peoples through open and distance learning? It's possible, and it's happening rather in ICA. Or ICA, we have got plenty of learners, plenty of students who has been working in Middle East, Malaysia, and they're studying with us. They are studying with us. They have been completing their programs, and it's very interesting. They are thousands of miles apart, but at the same time, they are attached to us at Nepal, and they're completing their programs. So, right. So I'll just sum up. So at ICA, we have been focusing on open and distance learning, and we have already in place a knowledge partner concept. I've been seeing a lot of, HR people and company executives here. So we have a knowledge partner concept where we actually become a knowledge partner of your company to educate your employees. It's a win-win situation for both the company and the employees, where without sacrificing their job obligations, or without companies, giving them leaves or sacrificing other things, they can still educate their workforce, and which is certainly beneficial to the company as well as to the employees.
Let me invite next Dr. Pramod Dhakal, Non-Resident Nepali Association, in charge of education, in charge of the policy and plan of open and distance learning university. Dr. Pramod Dhakal.
I have 4 suggestions to tell today at the end. So the first suggestion is that we have to turn the pedagogy upside down. So what happens, what we are doing today in classrooms ought to be done at home, and what we are doing at home ought to be done at the school. That means the homework ought to be done at the school, at the class, in front of the teacher, and the lectures that teachers are doing, they are taking the book here and then writing on the board, that ought to be taught by very highly skilled professionals selected from this whole country, and we have to give that lecture to all the people equally. Imagine we studied in Baglum, and in our time, Budale Nidaganta was the board first school. Imagine if the Budale Nidaganta's teacher was teaching, and that we got to see that, right? How he was teaching, how they were teaching in Budale Nidaganta. Maybe we could be board first too, but today, the education is accessible or viewable only by the rich, not by the poor. The good education is available only to the rich. Okay. The second thought, we have to adopt technology in education. We have to bring in cloud computing and mobile technology in education. That is my second suggestion. And my third suggestion is that collaboration, which he has already emphasized, collaboration in development, adoption and adoption of many things. I don't want to elaborate that. And then skill orientation of education. That means first 2 years of higher education ought to be skill oriented, totally focused on skill. And then for the better performing students, we will take them to ever advanced and ever professional, ever scientific fields later on. So all the Nepalis ought to be in skill field in the first 2 years of education. Those are my 4 suggestions. Thank you.
हवस् त, आजको लागि यति नै। भोलि हामी फरक नयाँ विषयवस्तु र फरक नयाँ प्यानल डिस्कसनका साथ उपस्थित हुने नै छौं। तबसम्मको लागि म कार्यक्रम प्रस्तुता उमिता बस्नेत लगायत मेरा सम्पूर्ण कार्यक्रम युनिटलाई बिदा दिनुहोस्। नमस्ते। नमस्कार। हिमालय टेलिभिजनको यस विशेष कार्यक्रममा यहाँहरूलाई स्वागत छ। म उमिता बस्नेत। यस विशेष कार्यक्रममा हामी जेठ 18 र 19 गते सोल्टी होटलमा आयोजना भएको एसियन पेन्ट्स नेपाल निर्माण 2071 को कार्यक्रम यहाँहरूमाझ प्रस्तुत गर्न गइरहेका छौं। दर्शकवृन्द, एचटीभी इभेन्ट्सले आयोजना गरेको यस कार्यक्रमका सहप्रायोजकहरू भने नेशनल इन्स्योरेन्स कम्पनी, जोनी वकर, पेप्सी, अरिहन्ट एजुकेशन र अरिहन्ट ट्राभल्स रहेको थियो। यसको रेडियो पार्टनर रेडियो अडियो रहेको थियो भने यसको न्यूज च्यानल पार्टनर न्यूज 24 रहेको थियो। दर्शकवृन्द, आजको कार्यक्रममा हामी पर्यटन क्षेत्रसँग आबद्ध रहेर भएको प्यानल डिस्कसन यहाँहरूमाझ प्रस्तुत गर्न गइरहेका छौं। उक्त प्यानल डिस्कसनमा पर्यटन मन्त्री भीम आचार्यको प्रमुख आतिथ्य रहेको थियो भने सोल्टी होटलका जनरल म्यानेजर, यति एयरलाइन्सका मार्केटिङ म्यानेजर, अन्नपूर्ण होटलका सीईओ, अशोका फाउन्डेशनका सीईओ र अरिहन्ट होलिडेजका सीईओ को उपस्थिति रहेको थियो।
म तपाईलाई मन्तव्य राखिदिनको लागि प्रमुख आकर्षक मन्त्री भीम आचार्यज्यूलाई आह्वान गर्दछु।
ऊर्जा हरेक क्षेत्रमा नभई नहुने चिज हो, जुन हाम्रो देशमा अहिले अभाव जस्तो देखिएको छ। चाहे टुरिज्मको क्षेत्रमा भनौँ, कृषिको क्षेत्रमा भनौँ, उद्योगको क्षेत्रमा भनौँ या सेवाको क्षेत्रमा भनौँ, कुनै पनि क्षेत्रमा यो ऊर्जा पहिलो प्राथमिकता जस्तै हो। कृषि हाम्रो ट्रेडिसनल एउटा पेसा जस्तो छ, परम्परागत ढङ्गले हामीले अपनाउँदै आएको, अत्यन्तै ठुलो म्यान पावर त्यसमा अलरेडी इन्भल्भ छ। त्यसलाई अलिकति हामीले ट्रेन्ड मात्रै गर्ने हो भने धेरै ठुलो प्रयत्न नगरिकन त्यो क्षेत्रलाई हामी धेरै अगाडि बढाउन सक्छौँ र हाम्रो ग्रस नेसनल प्रोडक्टलाई बढाउने, यो देशको आर्थिक अवस्थालाई माथि उठाउने, रोजगारी सृजना गर्ने सबै क्षेत्रमा साह्रै ठुलो प्रयत्न नगरिकन कुनै स्टार्टबाट गर्नु परेन। अलरेडी यो कन्टिन्यू भएको चिजलाई हामीले केही मोडिफाई गर्ने हो, सरकारले केही प्रायोरिटी तोक्ने हो, त्यस क्षेत्रमा अलि एग्रो इन्डस्ट्रीहरूलाई डेभलप गर्ने हो भने हामी त्यस क्षेत्रबाट पनि देशको विकासको अति महत्त्वपूर्ण भूमिका खेल्न सक्छौँ। र अर्को टुरिज्म हो। र टुरिज्ममा हामीले कस्तो ट्रेडिसनल सोचाइ राख्दै आएका छौँ भने यो टुरिस्ट भनेको विदेशीहरू घुम्न आउने अनि होटलमा बस्ने, घुम्छन् जान्छन्, सरकारले त्यसको लागि खासै प्रयत्न गरिरहनु पर्दैन भन्ने हाम्रो ट्रेडिसनल मान्यता रहँदै आएछ। अहिले अलिअलि परिवर्तन हुन खोज्दैछ र हाम्रो टुरिज्मको सेक्टरमा हामीले 10 लाखभन्दा पनि घटी टुरिस्टहरू गत वर्ष यहाँ आए, 1 मिलियन पनि पुगेको छैन। तर हामीले यो वर्षमा 100 मिलियन्स पुर्याउन सक्ने हामीसित आधारहरू छ। हामीसित आधार छ। अलिकति इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चरको विकास र प्रमोसन, टुरिज्मको प्रमोसन गर्ने हो भने, मार्केटिङ गर्ने हो भने हामी यो क्षेत्रलाई रोजगार प्रवर्धन, देशको आर्थिक स्थिति विकासको लागि अत्यन्तै महत्त्वपूर्ण क्षेत्रको रूपमा विकास गर्न सक्छौँ। गौतम बुद्ध नेपालमा जन्मस्थान नेपाल हो र संसारको 1/4 जनसङ्ख्या बुद्धिस्ट छ। बुद्धिस्ट देशहरूमा यहाँका सरकारले, मन्त्रीहरूले या अरू विभिन्न सेक्टरले तपाईँहरूको इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर विकास भयो भने प्रचार हामी आफै गरिदिन्छौँ, त्यहाँ जानुपर्छ भनेर भनिरहेका छन्। तर हामीले हाम्रो इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चरको विकास गर्न सकिरहेका छैनौँ। त्यसैले मैले नेपालको टुरिज्मको एउटा अत्यन्तै महत्त्वपूर्ण र सेन्टर ठाउँ जसलाई आधारित बनाएर दुनियाँका टुरिस्टहरूलाई हामी यहाँ उतार्न सक्छौँ, अरू विभिन्न ठाउँको प्रचार गरेर हामी त्यहाँ चाहिँ उनीहरूलाई पठाउन सक्छौँ। त्यो भनेको लुम्बिनी र गौतम बुद्ध जन्मस्थान हो। यो क्याथोलिकहरूको भ्याटिकन भने जस्तो, मुस्लिमहरूको मक्का मदिना भने जस्तो, अनि क्रिस्चियनहरूको चाहिँ जेरुसलम भने जस्तो, जहाँ असाध्यै ठुलो उनीहरूको रेभिन्यू टुरिज्मबाट आउँछ, असाध्यै ठुलो मात्रामा त्यहाँ रोजगारी टुरिज्म सेक्टरमा सृजना भएको छ। शान्ति स्थापना गर्ने, त्यस पछाडि पिसफुल वातावरण स्थापना गर्ने, यो अनावश्यक कुरामा हडताल गर्ने, अनावश्यक कुरामा चाहिँ के भनेदेखि यो अशान्ति सृजना गर्ने खालका कुरालाई निरुत्साहित गर्ने र निरुत्साहित गरेर हामीले एउटा शान्त वातावरण सृजना गर्दै यी सबै चिजका इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेभलप गर्ने र यो टुरिज्मको विकास गरेर अगाडि जान सक्दा महत्त्व देशको विकासको आर्थिक उन्नतिको सम्पन्नताको रोजगार सृजना गर्ने क्षेत्रको यो सेक्टर अत्यन्तै महत्त्वपूर्ण हुन सक्छ भन्ने मलाई लाग्छ।
म सुरुमै रोशन रेग्मीजीलाई मन्तव्यका लागि निवेदन गर्दछु। उहाँ यति एयरलाइन्सको मार्केटिङ म्यानेजर हुनुहुन्छ। धन्यवाद।
I won't take much of your time. As you know, I want to start off with the threats which we are facing now. This is a global threat to all the airlines company, not only in Nepal. It's the rising fuel prices. And the second major setback for airlines has been the European ban on Nepal. I'm sure it has set back not only the airline industry, but also the whole hospitality industry. To all my media colleagues, I want to tell that we are already doing something on it, and we've got a safety awareness program on the 4th of June happening at Gokarna Forest Resort. So all my colleagues of the media are welcome over there. To cut it short, I've prepared a 3-point agenda for Nirman Nepal 2071. First of all, after NTB sorts out its internal issues, I would recommend them to promote Nepal via social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Just recently, I saw a South African tourism board advert promoting South Africa. It was beautiful. I wanted to just book a flight and go there. So I want our tourism board to forget the traditional way of promoting and to follow the social media. Secondly, I would like to suggest them to not only promote Everest and Annapurna as the trekking route. You never see India promoting only Taj Mahal or China only promoting Great Wall, or America only promoting Statue of Liberty. So why are we only focused on Everest and Annapurna? We've got equally majestic trekking routes up in the west, Dolpa, Rara, as well as in the east we got the Kanchenjunga trekking route. So I would like NTB to focus on those trekking routes as well, because the more trekking routes we promote, the more empowerment people get, the more jobs, and it helps the overall economy of the country as well. And the third and the last is, I would say, now after the European ban, and this will take time because it won't happen overnight. So I would like Nepal Tourism Board to focus on emerging markets like China and Malaysia, especially China, because last year just 97 million tourists, outbound tourists went out from China. So that is a very emerging market. So without further wasting my time, that would be my 3 suggestions. Thank you very much.
धन्यवाद रोशनजी। उहाँको मन्तव्यको उडान पनि यतिहार जस्तै निकै तीव्र पायौँ हामीले। उहाँले अत्यन्त महत्त्वपूर्ण धारणा राख्नु भएको छ। म नलिन मन्दिर रत्ताजीलाई हार्दिक अनुरोध गर्दछु, जो सोल्टी होटलका महाप्रबन्धक हुनुहुन्छ। यो विशाल होटलकै छत्रछायामा हामी कार्यक्रम गरिरहेका छौँ।
First and foremost, I firmly believe that Nepal has great potential. Like many other neighboring countries like India, China, this is an untapped market, and we need to look at a lot of things and put things together to see that we get to the next level very fast. There are a few things which I firmly believe that we should look at. Destination marketing is something which is very, very important for Nepal. Like India or Malaysia, the way they have done Incredible India campaign, the way they have done Malaysia Truly Asia campaign, we can ride on that and see that we can take the destination marketing to the next level, not just attending trade shows, but also making sure that we have aggressive, focused plan, maybe a 2-year plan or a 3 or 5-year plan to see that we, focus towards this in a big, big way. Convention center infrastructure is something which is very important, and I feel firmly that we should develop that if we want a lot of MICE movements to move up in this sector. And then we need to make sure that we develop the roads and airport infrastructure. I know there is a lot of work happening in this regard, but we need to speed up the process. And of course, it is important that we keep participating in all the trade shows, in all the tourism forums, and we need to see that we draw strategic tie-ups and links between key service providers of tourism, whether it's hotels, airlines, and travel trade, and create value-added packages. to promote tourism and generate the arrivals and more revenues for our industry. I also firmly believe we have to explore new markets, and with the airline network getting bigger and better, we need to look at dynamic promotions like places in Turkey, now with air connectivity, Buddhist circuit, Southeast Asia and Brazil, places like Argentina and Russia for incentives, and these things need to really get firm, aggressive marketing, and I'm sure that we're going to get some good results. We need to make sure that we have strategic focus on two areas, two big countries around, and draw maximum benefit out of India and China. Have strategic partnerships and make sure that we develop this in a bigger way. And then we have to see that we also look after the issues which are energy, and especially for hospitality industry, we have to see that all the hydropower projects, the projects which are still pending, come to life, and we generate that kind of energy to get our costs down, and that will be a big boost to the industry, and for all of us to see that we can plan better and invest in new projects, new facilities, so that this can bring more employment and also a lot of business to our country. And then I also believe there should be, this should not just be in words, We can keep talking about it. We can keep drawing conclusions from whatever we think, we decide, but something has to be done. We have to form an action committee, and all, the public and private sectors, the tourism board need to come together and draw a plan. Now that plan needs to make sure that it is comprehensive, and we review it periodically to see that where we are moving in terms of development, in terms of making sure that we get tourism marketed well, not just within Nepal, but also in all the strategic areas and locations which really matter to us. And I'm sure that with doing all this and planning it properly, we can actually make sure that we create a difference in time to come. Thank you.
Grish Jain, प्रमुख कार्यकारी अधिकृत एरियन्ट होलिडेज का लाई हार्दिक आवेदन गर्दछु मन्तव्यका लागि.
I really am feeling very happy about the way the finance minister spoke on the use of technology, creativity, entrepreneurship. Feel that we're going to promote tomorrow's entrepreneurs. I believe entrepreneurship can create anything. We are talking about growth. I think so we should create world-class selling platforms which can take our product to the global world. We don't see better connectivities with our systems across the globe. Not more than 40-50 hotels can sell themselves across the globe. So technology can be promoted in form of selling a good technology to a hotel. If that can be subsidized by the government, I feel every hotel will have a top-class system integrated with world-class platforms where Nepal can be sold very well, which is big lacking over here. We have more than, I don't know exact numbers, but maybe 32,000 rooms per day, and I don't think so more than 2,000 rooms are connected to the global world. Secondly, I can clearly see that use of basically to create a lot of product innovation. We cannot connect a Yeti Airlines from London to Biratnagar. Why not? There is no one paying attention on these kind of things, which can really help and build a lot of products on the business side, wherein a person traveling from Delhi can come and stay in Kathmandu along with the 2-night hotel and go back, and a bundled package can be offered by the travel agents over here. So a lot of innovations has to be done. A world-class selling platform has to be designed in-house, which we have done as Arvind Holidays. We are proud to be the only company in Nepal right now who has really done integrated more than 900 airlines and many number of hotels in our systems to really sell them well. We are trying to linkage with a lot of world-class selling platforms. We call about Make My Trip. Why can't a travel brand from Nepal generate a franchisee across the globe? When we call ourselves as a travel destination, when we call ourselves as a travel economy, then travel can be sold globally by us, and we should be the pioneer by selling, we should be the pioneer by making ourselves as the premier entrepreneurs to the global world. I think so lot can be done. It's not about actually creating awareness. It's also about creating a very good means and mediums to sell your products globally. We don't talk about how to market our products. How many people know what number of hotels are there in Kathmandu? Through net only you can know. But to create the trust, if a global seller, if a Germany's agent, he is taking my pipe and he's selling my hotel in his agency over there, the trust comes. Trust comes with a local factor. Same way, when we talk about outbound traveling from Nepal to any part of the world, there are no product offerings in a better way. We can bundle product by really bundling them in so well and really selling them in so well way that people out here can get more value out of the product what we are offering out here. So my idea is like, when I see Nepal Nirman 2021 and I talk about 1 year range, talking as an entrepreneur, I would say that we should be really focusing on 1 year and trying to build something which can sell Nepal better. Thank you.
म अब अन्नपूर्ण होटलका प्रमुख कार्यकारी अधिकृत उपल मजुमदारज्यूलाई हार्दिक अनुरोध गर्दछु. Mr. Upal Majumdar.
Coming down to the theme of this conference, which is Nepal Nirman 2071, a roadmap for Nepal in the fiscal year starting Shrawan 2072 BS. There are a lot of things, which are there in the long term. Like, for example, yes, power, yes, it's needed. We're looking at so many other things. But let's look at certain things in the short term. What do we lack in terms of tourism development? There is very little incentive for investment. See, in Nepal, unlike some of our neighboring countries, a lot of investment, for example, in India is done by the government in tourism. So there is a state tourist transport corporation. There's a state tourism development corporation with big budgets. We don't have that in Nepal. In Nepal, all the tourism development, the tourism, packages, the tourism industry, it's all, whether transport, hotels, everything in the hands of the private sector. And the private sector does not get any incentive to do any kind of investment. So if you buy a car for private use, you pay huge taxes. Great. When the travel sector buys, they pay the same taxes. That's not good. So if you build a commercial building, you pay a huge amount and you pay the same interest for your loans. When we do investment in a hotel or an infrastructure, there is zero investment. So I would say what Nepal needs to do quickly in the short term is incentivize this. Pick up success stories, whether India, Malaysia, some of my colleagues mentioned, Singapore, Sri Lanka. Currently Sri Lanka is doing so well. In all these places, there is government subsidy or incentives. And I would think, if we could look into things like that, it'll make a lot of difference. The last 5-star hotel in Nepal is the Hyatt, which came up 12 years back. And since then, we haven't had that. The airport is undergoing a lot of things. The other thing we need to invest is in services. What is the customer experience? When a tourist comes to a country, what is his experience? In all these countries, the experience is very, very different. In our country, it's not great at all. So this is again something we can do in the short term. The private sector can help the government. We can work with immigration people. We can do training for them, but involve, I think, the private sector in doing things like this. And the third thing is, all right, yes, we have shortages. We don't have power, but give us some subsidy on the diesel. Give us some subsidy in investing in captive power so that we don't pollute the environment. We not only buy the generators and buy the diesel to run it, but we also put in environment pollution